two most popular wikis, spawned from the original 4chan posts on the Backrooms. We will dissect the meaning and intention on the levels and compare them on multiple things: entities, liminality, and level design. These factors aren't set in stone, but they are the ones we'll be using. For now, leave your opinion down below on any other factors we should consider. I will refer to the Backrooms Wiki's Level 0 as Level 0, and I will refer to Liminal's archives, the halls, as, well, the halls. No matter the outcome, the love and support for the Backrooms remains constant and ever expanding, and in no way am I throwing shade towards any writer or wiki, just simply stating my opinion. Now, we will begin dissecting the iconic starting levels in both wikis: the yellow wallpapered room with moist carpet and the unescapable humbus. Level 0 states in its entities section that no known entities are known to exist within the level. If you encounter another wanderer, then it is safe to assume that it is not human. So, therefore, there is a possibility that entities exist within this level. Level 0 also states that you can hear auditory hallucinations in the form of a monster or insect chittering, which, according to what they say about entities within this level, possibly mean that some stray entities are possible to be roaming around this near infinite space. Though it is much more likely the only enemy you would be facing is the hostile environment itself, and your lack of sanity as it slowly peels you open. The halls differentiate from level 0 in its entity count. They say this, quote, "While sparse, a variety of stray creatures and anomalous entities do wander these halls, just as lost as humans." It's a unique spin on the view and nature of entities from the halls, as the effects of the room also affect the entities, leading to a possible theory that the levels and entities aren't exactly symbiotic and may have their own agendas or goals. The exact number or exact entities that inhabit the halls is unknown. Still, there seem to be very few of them, so while infinitely traversing the halls, you could run into a stray smiler or hound who may be just as scared or much more aggressive. Now, what exactly is liminality? You can check out my video on it in the top right hand corner, but what liminality is the feeling of being in a transitionary space for longer than you should be, and only level 1 does a perfect job of expressing such emotion. Loneliness makes it liminal, or the extension of said loneliness for an uncomfortable or even lethal amount of time. Level 0's version of liminality is much more in your face. For starters, the fact that your path is non-linear makes it impossible to progress, making you much more aware of the true horror that you face. The fact that you can literally go in a straight line, yet end up exactly where you were, just fills you with doom. The constant hallucinations of both a visual and auditory nature can add to that transitionary feeling. Being completely isolated and alone is such a human killer, much more than you could imagine. Humans are extremely adaptable, and an average Joe could go from a couch potato to a hardened survivor, as long as there is hope and as long as there are others worth fighting for. But being dropped into nothingness and forced to battle level 0's exposure, elements, and hallucinations, why, it's not meant to kill you physically, but to kill you mentally, to tear down your psyche in search of an impossible to find exit. Now, the Hall's version of liminality is, well, non-existent in my opinion, simply for two facts. One, although rare, you can definitely run into other humans. Now, the article goes into something called Cartesian Valley, which in theory should make humans meeting almost impossible, but somehow through either pure luck or some other cosmic destiny, humans find a way, which leads to less liminality. Now, it is possible to have liminality with other people, but it robs your attention away from it, like how a paramedic could urge you not to look at an injury you might have sustained, as the sheer acknowledgement could send you spiraling into fear. And also, well, there are entities, which in combination with finding other humans, it does lead to some believing that liminality, the transitionary period between a boundary or threshold, to be obscured and therefore forgotten. Although the Hall's inclusion of being able not to die of old age could lend to a much deeper version of liminality, we shouldn't exclude level 0, as yes, it doesn't mention that you're biologically immortal, but it also does not state that. The Hall's version feels more like a survival horror mechanism rather than liminal horror. Not a bad trade-off, but a distinct and unliminal one. Now, the level design of both are pretty similar. If you aren't looking for differences, it could be hard to differentiate at first glance, but there are quite a few interesting ideas thrown around. Level 0's level design and the hall's level design share the same atmosphere and aesthetic: damp yellow carpet, old decaying wallpaper, and that inescapable humbug, with a sense of dread, nostalgia, and confusion mixed in for good measure. But the main difference between the two was already explained in a previous section. The halls, although creative and fun in its own right, lacks liminality. The halls also houses different rooms that contrast with level 0, such as big red oceans of carpet fluid and weird jungles of mushrooms and vines. For a better explanation of both levels, look at the top right hand corner or in the video description. With humans calling the halls home, there are also civilization within this yellow purgatory, which leads to its own set of problems, such as hostile humans and entities being attracted to human activities. Level 0 has no such things. Of course, no clipping is a staple in both versions. From our real world to the backrooms, the only way is to no clip. The final judgment is yours. I'm simply stating the differences, similarities, and love for both of these versions. Level 0 is a classic level and is what I envision the starting level of the backrooms to be. No humans, no entities, but that doesn't mean the survivor horror spin on the halls isn't worth a read. I love the creativity displayed in this level and the sheer horror it can induce, just not liminal horror. Please feel free to leave a comment down below on which one is your favorite. You won't regret it.